Hello, Rohit.
Yes, sir. Your voice is clear.
My voice is clear?
Yes, sir. It seems that no other gates is still connected, sir.
Other guests are not connected. Let me telephone. Subhas, get connected. तो जुड़ा वो कनेक्ट हो जाए. ओ विजय कुमार यादव यस उसी में बीसी साहब बोलेंगे ना. ठीक 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 दैट नो प्रॉब्लम. लेट अदर शुड जॉइन. ओके ओके ठीक ठीक. रोहित गुड मॉर्निंग राठी दी. रणजीत सर गुड मॉर्निंग. बीसी सर गुड मॉर्निंग. रणजीत सर
Good morning. Am I getting you? Hello, am I reaching you? मेरी आवाज जा रही है?
यस डेफिनेटली बढ़िया आ रहा है. क्लियर आवाज आ रहा है. क्लियर फोटोग्राफ भी आ रहा है.
हम कहा कि जल्दी आ गए क्या?
नहीं नहीं एकदम ठीक है. ठीक है सब 1-2 मिनट के अंदर ज्वाइन हो जाएंगे.
Naik sir, Sanjay sir and Saikat Matra sir is not connected yet, sir.
Just
and Dolly ma'am is not connected.
सर गेट कनेक्टेड. सब लोग कनेक्ट हो गए. डॉक्टर रंजीत वर्मा कनेक्ट हो गए. तो अनम्यूट कीजिए सर. आपका वीडियो भी आना चाहिए.
हेलो. गुड मॉर्निंग नाइक साहब.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर. गुड मॉर्निंग.
Good morning.
The honorable VC Ranjit Babu also connected. आवाज दीजिए.
All right. हेलो. हेलो डॉक्टर.
यस यस.
हाँ हेलो नमस्कार.
नमस्कार नमस्कार. कैसे हैं आप?
बस सब अच्छे हैं.
Please get
I think
connected.
both of us are wearing the top the same color. There are a lot of matching appears to be.
सब लोग connect हो गए, आप connect हुई.
Coincidence
Coincidence,
है.
I really don't know how that this thing it has worked, but yes, it has worked.
some frequency synergy is there.
Yes. तभी डॉक्टर साहब कहाँ पर हैं अभी आप?
मुंगेर में है. मुंगेर में.
Oh, wonderful. Very nice.
तोड़ दिए.
मैम प्लीज, सर का कनेक्शन नहीं हुआ अभी तक. हाँ, और सभी भी सीट लोग कनेक्ट हो गया सब. ओके.
Dolly ma'am is connected.
Dolly ma'am connected?
Yes, sir. Dolly ma'am is connected.
Only West Bengal University of Technology VC
Yes,
just getting connected. Then everybody is connected. Dr. Singh not connected till now. Nearer to the God, farther from God. Nearer to the church, farther from God. सर कनेक्टेड है ना?
Yeah.
सर का फेस
He is
दिखाई देना
connected.
चाहिए.
Psychic sir is there, sir.
सर का फेस दे, सब लोग आ गए. अच्छा, ये रोहित.
Yes, sir. Psychic sir is connected.
Cycle sir connected. Only Dolly ma'am is there.
No, everyone is connected now.
Dolly ma'am भी connected है.
Yes, sir. Dolly ma'am is also connected, but her mic is muted.
अभी से हाँ should come on the screen. Yes.
Dolly ma'am, will you please unmute your mic?
Please.
Yeah, good morning everybody.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Namaskar.
गुड मॉर्निंग. नमस्कार सभी को.
नमस्कार. I am Dr. Sanjay Kumar.
Good morning, sir.
Psychic
Welcome to this session.
Good
Shams.
morning.
Okay.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Everybody is time today before the time.
Yeah.
Yes. I think Professor Naik promptness and all sorts of the reminders that has worked very well.
No, sir. It's your cooperation and your blessing all the peoples. And I am very fortunate that only once I have requested you, all the dignitaries and everybody given consent.
So shall we start with our today's session, sir? Max, sir?
On time you can start. No problem.
Very good morning to all of you. On behalf of whole IIBM and Dr. Zakir Hussain family, I welcome you all for this today's one-day national webinar on emerging demand of online education post-COVID-19. It's our pleasure to organize this with the reputed guests over here. So we will proceed towards our first session, that is our welcome and theme presentation. For that, I request Professor Dr. A.K. Naik sir to please come and address. But before we proceed, let me introduce Professor Dr. A.K. Naik sir.
Any Rohit, not required of this because I am the host. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So let me welcome Professor Naik for the theme and welcome and theme presentation.
Thank you very much, Rohit. Welcome everybody to this August morning for the great webinar, that is national webinar on emerging demand of online learning post COVID-19. First of all, I wish everybody to be healthy and remain happy on this crisis period. Honorable Dr. Nandkumar Yadav ji, the Honorable Vice-Chancellor of the Central University of Jharkhand, Honorable Chief Guest of the occasion, Dr. Ranjit Verma ji, the Vice-Chancellor of Munger University and the former Vice-Chancellor of Patna, Pro-Vice-Chancellor of Patna University, as well as the former National Treasurer of the Indian Science Congress Association. Honorable Dr. Saikat Mitra ji, the Honorable Vice-Chancellor of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, formerly known as the West Bengal University of Technology, and a renowned educationist of international stature. Honorable Dr. Sanjay Kumar ji, the Honorable Vice-Chancellor of Symbiosis University of Applied Sciences, Indu, who will be the keynote speaker in today's webinar. Honorable Ma'am Dali Sinha ji, the Pro-Vice-Chancellor of Patna University, joining as the distinguished guest on this occasion. The President of this function, Professor Dr. U.K. Singh, the Founder Director General of Indian Institute of Business Management and Dr. Zakir Hussain Institute, as well as the Chancellor of the Global Open University, Nagaland. The Regional Vice President, Professor Shams Raja, the CSI National Executive Member and Vice President of the Maharashtra and Goa Affairs, Sri Pradeep Rathi ji, and the Chapter Chairman of the Calcutta Chapter, Gautam Hazra ji, our another regional executive member of Computer Society of India and Chairman of the Research and Education Committee of CSI, Dr. Subhash Yadav ji, honorable dignitaries and invitees and other participants who are on this, join in this August occasion, and the participants and delegates, which comprising more than 500 in numbers. I welcome everybody to this August occasion, and I extend my sincere thanks and gratitude that in spite of Sunday, you came forward to join in this national webinar, which will contribute significantly to make this webinar successful. My dear friends, first of all, I personally welcome the Honorable Vice-Chancellor of the Central University of Jharkhand, Dr. Nandkumar Yadav Indu ji, for his kindness to grace the occasion to inaugurate this national webinar that is being conducted on this auspicious occasion. The man of vision, joined with a very nascent and a newly established Central University of Jharkhand, but he has key personality to drive the university to the acceleration, and the university definitely will achieve the scale of height in the future days to come. A learned and very distinguished academician, as well as he is a person who has taken a lot of initiative to enhance the ICT infrastructure in this university within the short span of the time. And I should have to congratulate him for introducing a unique course which is the demand of this time now, the postgraduate diploma in cyber security. These kinds of courses are very rarely available at the university level. And another initiative what he is taking that I am telling, particularly to make the massive ICT literacy for the tribal peoples of the state of Jharkhand. Sir, I welcome you on this August occasion, and on behalf of Indian Institute of Business Management's Managing Committee, on my behalf as the director of this educational group, as well as on behalf of the Computer Society of India, as the immediate past president of the society, we extend our hearty welcome as well as our gratitudes and millions of thankfulness for your gracious presence here to inaugurate this auspicious occasion. In the same time, I must have to congratulate one of the most high-tech Vice-Chancellor of the state of Bihar, and fortunately, very close colleagues of mine and a very dynamic personality, the former Pro Vice-Chancellor of the Patna University, as well as the former National Treasurer of the Indian Science Congress, and we look forward he might be the president in the near future to come. And I, sir, welcome you to this August occasion. A noted scientist in the areas of chemistry, having the name and fame and published in the international directory and being treated as one of the noted scientists out of 500 scientists in the world, so in the field of the chemistry. So this webinar is very proud enough to have you with us, as well as you are participating in this auspicious occasion as the chief guest. I also very much grateful and thankful, a very well-wisher of our great society, Computer Society of India, which is the largest professional society of the country and unofficially the largest professional society of the computer science and IT professional of the world, having 1.25 lakhs number of the members and comprising of 81 branches at different parts of the country and more than 500 student branches the society is having. And one of our most well-wisher to the society and honorable Vice-Chancellor of the Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, formerly known as West Bengal University of Technology, and a noted academician, a man of the international stature, Dr. Saikat Mitraji is also available with us, having a lot of distinction in the field of education and research. And I had the close association with Honorable VC Sahib in various occasions of the Computer Society of India's functions and celebration. He had been kind enough to be the chief guest in our many of the functions that we have conducted this year, our Eastern Regional Student Convention, our State Student Convention, and many more. So we express our heartiest gratitude, as well as we welcome Sir to this August webinar and on the auspicious occasion. And CSI Eastern region, particularly the region comprising of the Bihar, West Bengal, and Assam and other northeast part of the country, along with the Indian Institute of Business Management, feel proud for your gracious presence here to grace this occasion as our most honorable guest of this one-day webinar. I'm equally thankful to our honorable Vice-Chancellor, that is Dr. Sanjay Kumar, the Vice-Chancellor of the most technologically advanced university, that is Symbiosis University of Applied Science. And I must have to mention one point regarding the Honorable VC, Dr. Sanjay Kumarji. That means perhaps Symbiosis University, Indu is the first university in the country which has completed its session in time in this pandemic period. That means perhaps they have published their result on June 10th of this month, and the credit goes to the dynamic leadership of this great personality, so that when the complete country was in lockdown and they were acting, because they are very much technically equipped, they are very much equipped with the online education system, what we are going to discuss today. And apart from that, he is a noted scientist also, though he is having his career started from the Indian Army, but having the lot of patents in name, and a reputed scientist is with us. So we are also proud for his gracious presence, and he has kindly agreed to deliver the keynote address. Everybody knows Madam Dalli Sinha as one of the most vibrant lady and leading to the educational activities of the state of Bihar. And Madam has been the ex-principal of the Magad University, was very much instrumental to having the NAC accreditation A grade when she had been the principal of this college, having the dean of the student welfare of the Patna University and Learned Prof Vice-Chancellor of the Patna University. Ma'am is here to grace the occasion as the distinguished guest. I also welcome Dr. UK Singh, our Founder Director General of Indian Institute of Business Management, as well as the Dr. Zakir Hussain Group of Institution, and happens the Chancellor of the Global Open University of Nagaland, which has been established under the public-private partnership of the government of Nagaland and our group. And he will be presiding over this function. And I also extend my thanks for his gracious presence. I extend my thanks to all of our, I welcome all of our organizers, Professor Ganesh Pandey, Deputy Director, Shams Raja, the Regional Vice President of Computer Society of India, Pradeep Rathi, the Regional Vice President of the Maharashtra and Goa region, Dr. Subhash Yadav, the National Chairman of the Research and Education of the Computer Society of India, and our other organized members and honorable guests and delegates who are participating in a large number. I am also very thankfully acknowledge our team, that the team is able and capable to make the life in the Institute Facebook as well as the YouTube. Simultaneously, the YouTube and Facebook will be in live so that the webinar proceeding can be visible and can be watched by thousands of the people around the country. And we have organized a theme of very important thing. Till today, people are telling emerging trends in emerging trends of online education. But we have made the topic not emerging trend. Previously, people were telling that emerging trends of the online education. But now, by the COVID-19, the impact of the COVID-19, now it is not the emerging trends, it is not a trend, rather it is the emerging demand. Now the situation has compelled us to be dependent more on the online education. We have the educational system starting from the traditional era of the Ramayana and Mahabharata, where the Gurukula Ashram had been there, but the education methodologies and practices have been changed from time to time. And we retain, and we are having the different generation of the imparting of the education, as we are talking of the industry 1.0, industry 2.0, industry 3.0. Similarly, we can nomenclate education 4.0, which has been implemented after the impact of the COVID. Now, ICT have been playing an important role in the education and imparting of the education, the concept of online education. Until today, a survey tells 82% of the employed person in the United States of America was opting for the online education for upgradation of their careers. 42% of the employees of the India were also interested going through the online education and certification course for upgradation of their employability as well as their capability. A recent survey tells even 27% of the youth masses are also interested to take the education degree through the online mode. And recently, UGC have given permission some of the universities to start the degree program in the online mode. Particularly, many of the universities have started the MBA program through the online mode. And all these things are emerging. That was the emerging. We are telling that was a trend, but now it is the time has compelled us. It is a demand for us. On keeping the view of this, we have organized such an webinar, and where the policy makers of the education have been assembled, all the policy makers, and this is the gathering of 6 vice-chancellor and 4 vice-chancellor. And definitely this forum will be one of the important forum to discuss upon this and to discussion, and the many visions will come forward, and we can make the visions and we can make the proceedings, and which can be recommended to the appropriate authority also. My dear sirs and all participants, I want to mention at the time of discussion, we will have to keep in the view that what can be done for a country like India, where the per capita income of this country is so small that only 4,100 per capita income of a person in the country like India, where United States of America per capita income is 6,01,000 per year. And we are having a country having 70% people are living in the rural areas where 30% of the population is in the urban area. We are a country where the soul of the India, the soul of the country remains in the rural area. We do not have that much infrastructure to provide the online education to the masses, and we are having a very big digital divide. We'll have to explore the possibility how we can take this education. Previously, we are thinking that this online education will be passive learning method, which will complement and supplement to the active traditional learning method. But now this scenario has been changed. We'll have to think upon all the educationists and all the policymakers will have to think upon what should be the infrastructural development, what should be the key factors that we should be considered for a country like India, so that we can be able to provide the education, online education to each and every one of the country, to the remotest part of the country, that should be possible to satisfy the great stanza of Bhagavad Gita, aham nijo paraveti swabhava lagute tasang udarate tasang cha vasudhaiva kutumbakam. That means we'll have to make this education availability to each and every people of the country. Of course, we are very much encouraged by the launching of the Digital India, under which 250 lakhs of the Gram Panchayat have been connected with the broadband connectivity, and our Honorable IT Minister has told 1 lakh of the villages should be connected by the end of this year to the broadband connectivity, though India has been more than 6,60,000 villages, and all the villages have to be connected in the near future if you want to have a dream to provide the online education. UGC has also framed many of the guidelines viewing the situation for the online education and delivering of the content to the online education mode and conducting the interactive classes. Keeping all these points in the view, today's webinar is very much essential, and I do request all the learned Vice-Chancellor to discuss and explore the possibility how we can drive forward a country like India. With these few words, once again, I extend my hearty gratitude and millions and billions of thanks to each of them, as well as I congratulate them, I welcome them for their kind presence to grace us this occasion, and should have the discussion and should take the ICT based education to the public in a view to satisfy the great stanza of Bhagavad Gita. Sarves bhavantu sukhina, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pasyantu ma kashchit. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So now we are heading towards our first session, that is our inaugural address. And for that, I request Professor Nand Kumar Yadav, Indu, Honorable Vice-Chancellor, Central University, Jharkhand. But before we proceed, let me introduce Nand Kumar Yadav, sir. He did his BSc honors from the reputed T&B College, Bhagalpur, with distinction in mathematics. He is also MCC B certified holder. He got his master's degree from Postgraduate Department of Chemistry, TMBU Bhagalpur in first class. On an academic exchange program of MHRD, he moved to Germany in 1983 and got his PhD degree from Friedrich Schiller University, Jena, and a certified in German language too. He supervised 5 scholars for PhD and published several papers in national and international journals of repute. He is also a couple of books in his name. He is a member of several All India professional societies. He attended, organized, chaired several national and international seminars. Apart from his mother tongue, Hindi and English, he is also proficient in Sanskrit and German. So with these words, I like to invite Professor Nand Kumar Yadav, sir, for the inaugural address.
कनेक्टिविटी खत्म हो गई।
Sir, your voice is clear, sir. Nankumar Yadav sir, is my voice is audible to you, sir? Yadav sir?
Rohit, Rohit,
Yes, sir.
his voice is audible. You tell him to tell you.
Yes, sir. I already told
Uनका
him,
voice
but
audible.
there is some technical problem, I guess so.
Yeah, I don't. But his voice is audible, fully audible.
And Nankumar Yadav sir, your voice is already audible. Can we proceed, sir?
ऐसे ही सुभाष सर के साथ अभी हुआ है। अभी सुभाष सर के साथ भी ऐसा ही हुआ है। Am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Your voice is audible.
Okay. Audible? Okay. Namaskar and very good morning to all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to be among the renowned personalities and a galaxy of erudite participants. Honorable Chief Guest Professor Ranjit Kumar Verma, BC Munger University, Bihar, and also my friend, Honorable President Professor UK Singh, Chancellor TGOU Nagaland, and Director General IIBM. Guest of honor, Dr. Saikat Maitra, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, West Bengal. Distinguished guest, Professor Dolly Sinha, Pro Vice-Chancellor Patna University. Honorable Webinar Chair, Professor A.K. Nayak, ex-President of Computer Science of India. Keynote speaker, Dr. Sanjay Kumar, Vice-Chancellor, Symbiosis University, Indu. Professor Shams Reza and other organizers, participants, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure once again to be among the renowned personalities and a galaxy of erudite participants on the most demand and the most burdened education. And here it is for the first time in the history of mankind that the whole world is forced to live inside for more than 2 months, called the lockdown, and is still living in fear of uncertainty of how long will go this unwarranted situation. It is all caused by a microorganism called coronavirus. It proved to be mightier than nuclear bombs and signals that it can be used as a biological weapon of mass destruction in future wars. It has pushed the world into a great economic crisis and threat to the whole human existence. During the lockdown, all human social activities were put to a halt, whether it be transport, industry, business, markets, hotels, tourism, flight, rail, ship, buses, even religious activities and marriages, all affected. And above all, the root of all development, that is the schools, colleges, universities, coaching centers, may be private or public, were closed and still are going closed. During this period of COVID-19, while the academia is fighting with its gigantic educational crisis, global education scenario is facing potentially one of the greatest threats in our lifetime. Face-to-face teaching learning is a bygone era. Research, fieldwork projects, recruitment of teaching and learning, recruitment of teaching and non-teaching staff, ACEC court meetings were all put to a sudden break. And online education has become the default mode of education during this lockdown. For the time being, other academic activities like conferences, seminars, workshops, and symposiums have been turned into a series of webinars. Thanks to the Modi government that before this unwarranted crisis, it has introduced different digital platforms of Swayamprabha, National Digital Sindhu observed within a very short span of time. And what we see now, it has accelerated new forms of pedagogy and remarkable initiatives from individual academics and institutions have emerged. Number two, educational institutions across the world are utilizing tools and technology to create content for online education. Number three, educational institutions need to go for collaboration with the digital learning specialists to train the teachers and redesign the educational needs for the newest online trends. Ladies and gentlemen, in this area, Harvard Business School survey says that 51% students were given online classes. And our experience of Central University, Jharkhand, we have seen that nearly 70% students are able to take online classes and exams due to limitations of internet's outreach to remote places. Now, the question arises, what are the pedagogical consequences of this pandemic and what scenario do we foresee when the pandemic is over and we come to the pre-COVID state? How can coronavirus related disruption give pedagogues time to rethink the transition in pedagogy? Now the challenge is how to transform these pedagogies from face-to-face to MOOCs in a suitable dynamic online learning environment. How to establish emotional contact or emotional connect with the learners. How to keep yourself as well as your learners motivated. I hope the subject experts from academia and the people from corporate world like Google, Microsoft, APAC, Singapore will definitely be able to address those technological challenges. But ladies and gentlemen, we should think over and over again on the online learning's limit. What should be the limit of online learning and teaching to this face-to-face teaching and learning? I think that post-COVID period also, this will persist and online teaching learning will persist and it will be a part of traditional teaching learning, more and more pressure will be created for online subject matters, course contents, and there will be a healthy competition, I hope, between the teachers and the machine. But certainly it will be the teachers who will be behind this machine. And in no case the online teaching learning should take the place of human beings. This will be one of the greatest crises. I also hope the delegates participating from all over the country, that they will be acquainted with emerging technologies and enrich their technical skill at the end of webinar. My best wishes for the grand success of this webinar. With these words, I declare the webinar open, inaugurated. Thank you. Thank you all. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir. With these words, we are now head towards our next session, that is address of our chief guest. For that, I request Dr. Ranjit Verma, Honorable Vice-Chancellor, Munger University, Bihar, for the address. But before we proceed, let me introduce Professor Ranjit Verma. Professor Verma is the founding Vice-Chancellor of Munger University, is former Pro-Vice-Chancellor of Patna University from 2014 to 2017, and is on a lean from the University Department of Chemistry, Magadha University. He has been on several panels for suggesting academic and administrative reforms, a member of advisory committee of the Governor of Bihar. Professor Verma is among the internationally acclaimed scientists who are working in the field of thermal analysis. Presently, he is co-chairman of the Scientific Commission of the International Confederation for Thermal Analysis and Calorimetry, and figures in the prestigious global list of top 350 thermal scientists. He is co-authorized textbooks for NCERT and NSDL CSIR, and was the paper coordinator for development of interactive e-textbooks for MSc. He received Best PG Chemistry Teacher Award in 2018 in the State University category in India from ACT HBCSE TIFR Mumbai during National Convention at Art IE Ajmer, and ISCAS Gold Medal 2018 from the Indian Society of Solid State Chemistry and Applied Science, Jammu. Its 2019 Nagpur Conference, a popular speaker at conference, seminar, symposium, and refresher course workshop in India and abroad. He is a globally traveled academician. With these words, I request Dr. Ranjit Verma sir to please come for the address of the chief guest.
Oh, thank you for unmuting. Yeah. Well, friends, at the outset, I am very much thankful to my friend, Professor Nayak, Dr. Uttam Kumar Singh Sahab, and all the members of the organizing committee of this great webinar on the great topic. I congratulate on the wonderful discourse that my friend Professor Indu has made just now, and he has really opened the topic for good discussion. It will lead to good discussion. My former colleague, present colleague also, Professor Dolly Ghosh, Professor Kumar, Shams Raja Sahab. We have been meeting quite frequently while I was at Patna, and all the persons who are participating in the great webinar. Dr. Rathi, Sakat Maitra, and all the persons. Really, this unprecedented and unpredictable pandemic that we have been exposed to has derailed the normal activities of all the in all the walks of life, in all the areas. It has derailed the normal activity, and so it has done in the academic field also. But thanks to the persons who are associated with, thanks to the experts who are associated with the development and maintenance of ICT in this world, I mean the persons associated with Computer Society of India in our country and other organizations, my friends, Professor Uttam Babu and Nayak Sahib and all, Shams Raja and all the persons. We have several avenues where we can find alternative ways. And someone has rightly said that behind any crisis, there are opportunities where we can make advances. And we have been trying, we have been looking forward, we have been working towards creating more and more ICT interfaces, particularly in the teaching learning process. Large number of schemes are running in our country. The advent of e-books about almost 2 decades back, the advent of several softwares starting from Adobe Flash Player to other techniques, which led to more interactive e-learning modules, just like at the level of PG teaching in MA, MSc, MCom courses, the EPG Pathshala project, we have been doing it quite efficiently. But now, during this pandemic, we have been experimenting what more we can do with a faster pace. And I have experimented it at my place, Munger University. It has been carved out of Bhagalpur University. It covers 5 backward districts of the state with large variations in the terrain, in the socio-political, economic, from socio-political and economic angles, from access, from infrastructure point of view, from education and other angles. But the response that our teachers, students, and their guardians have made to my appeal to go for online interactive classes has really been very encouraging. I could not expect that it will lead to such a scenario where almost 1/3 of our faculty members at that time, when I took over in this new university 2 years back, did not have any idea of how to take a picture from their own respective mobiles. Now they are uploading their videos on YouTube channel of our university. So see the response and see the advances, the way that they have picked up. And the students are so excited, although the credit should also go to the ICT people because of the popularity of the social media and the popularity of other techniques that are coming up daily through various means, and the awareness drive that the media and multimedia taken together, they have been bringing it before the masses. The response has been tremendous, and I am proud that Munger University is leading in the production of e-learning modules and materials, and the involvement of various interactive softwares, just like this Zoom or Google Meet, or so many things are there. And just see the website of mungeruniversity.ac.in. You will find the, if you see it on 2 consecutive successive days, you will find the pace at which the videos are being downloaded, the subscribers are going up. It has reached almost 0.1 million in this area. And the number of videos that are being uploaded. So the interactive modules are now familiar. The teachers are familiar, the students are familiar with interactive modules. Through our own software, University Management Information System that we have devised, and my former colleague, Professor Dolly Ghosh, a very encouraging, I found a very encouraging faculty in her while during my tenure at Patna, and we together had chalked out several reforms that could be brought in the curricula. And taking that advantage, we have been successful in starting one electronic multimedia resource center at Munger University from our own resources. And we have decided that this online e-learning process will be a permanent feature, and we shall go up from the present plan of 30% coverage, 30% credit weightage in the to 50 or 60% the credit that we can give to our students in future. And that will also lead to better quality of our programs. We are running into a collaboration with a UGC center at Delhi, Munger University, and that center. We shall be together bringing out a very quality interactive module on family management, a new subject that has been started. So these are some of the experiences which almost I think all of us are experiencing, and these reflect the positive side of the present crisis, the present pandemic, that is being reflected by different segments of our society, particularly from academia. And the students, now they are getting themselves registered for EPG Pathshala at Munger and Begusarai and at Khagaria, Munger and Khagaria. And the response that they are making, they did not make such response earlier during my interactive induction meets at regional induction meets with the college teachers in the 5 districts. I have started this process here. Besides student induction meet, we are organizing regional Kulpati Shikshak Samvad, teachers induction meet. And during those meets, many things came up, but this response was not there. This response we are getting during the present pandemic. And the students, because through EUMIS, we are also sending SMS alert on new materials available either on some government sites, I mean UGC and different government sites, and the university sites. The alerts are being sent through SMS, and earlier the SMS did not respond so well, but it is now responding. They are getting registered themselves. So naturally, I presume that the level of reading and level of interaction is going up. So this will be a normal feature in our future teaching, and that will be more important. However, I agree that there is no alternative to a direct classroom teaching. Because in classroom teaching, the level of motivation, the level of concentration, the level of so many things, the inspiration, these things cannot be compared with the level of interaction, but it will always be a good supplement. Now that we have adapted ourselves and we are adapting ourselves to e-learning processes, so we are going to, we shall be benefited. Professor Indu was rightly pointing out that we are entering into an era of where collaboration will be a compulsion rather than a choice. And I add that an era of digital collaboration has started. Friends at Patna, friends at sitting in other states, and one person sitting at Munger, we are interacting digitally. And so we can have a digital collaboration avenue. One avenue is that way. Now, there are tremendous opportunities if we go for artificial intelligence, if we incorporate other ICT or the computer-based techniques and branches of knowledge in we can borrow it to for creating better teaching learning interfaces and more effective learning in future. So really a very good time. We should not say that the pandemic is scaring us. Really, we have entered into a very good time, and we are going to be benefited. The rate of our learning will go up, and the rate of our the naturally output, the teaching learning output will also increase. And the word work from home, earlier there were no taker for this word, particularly in our state. I think work from home was not a duty. No credit we used to give to our employees if the employee is going and sitting and working from home. Now we have started, we have experimented, and sometime we find that the output of work from home is much, much greater than what they used to give. So we are concerned as employer, we are concerned with the output, and if the output is more, if the employee is allowed work from home, so there will be, we shall have to make a combination of work from home or work in the office and learning at the institution, learning from home. A combination shall have to be evolved. And so we are also facing this the problem of conducting evaluation. I give you two examples without naming the university. Two vice-chancellor, one from South India and one from North India. Two examples I am aware of it. And they started online evaluation using WhatsApp. That was an experiment. The questions were sent at a particular time, and the students were given, okay, within this limit, you submit your answer. And what happened in one examination, one paper in a South Indian university, for example, I will tell you that answer in the same handwriting, in the same answer, where the same answers were circulated in the same handwriting because the answers were being submitted through WhatsApp. So the examination had to be cancelled. So several limitations are there because of the socio-political and other ethical issues. But I think we are transforming ourselves to a better ICT era, and this is an opportunity. And for this, we have tremendous responsibility, particularly for our computer people. And for this purpose, from that angle, this sort of topic and this sort of webinar was really a welcome step. And I congratulate you, and I wish the seminar a grand success, and good things should come. And they will be, as Professor Nayak was telling, that they will be circulating the recommendations to the appropriate authorities. I think this should go, because what I have experienced during a few decades of my career, that if recommendations are coming from good professional bodies, they are considered. And if you pursue it, that will lead to change in the policy at the government level also. Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you, friend. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. With these words, we are head towards our next session, that is address of the guest of honor. And for that, I request Dr. Saikat Mehta, sir, Honorable Vice-Chancellor, Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, West Bengal. But before we proceed, let me introduce Saikat Mehta, sir. Professor Saikat Mehta is presently working as a Vice-Chancellor of Maulana Abul Kalam Azad University of Technology, West Bengal, formerly West Bengal University of Technology. He did his BSc Honours in Chemistry from the Presidency College, Kolkata, BTech, MTech and PhD in Chemical Technology from the University of Calcutta. He is Chartered Chemical Engineer and Fellow of Institute of Engineering, India. Professor Mehta earlier worked as Professor and Principal in Charge at Government College of Engineering and Ceramic Technology, RCC Institute of Information Technology, Associate Professor at University Technology, Petronas, Malaysia, and as Scientist at Central Fuel Research Institute, Kanwar. He has worked in industries too. Professor Mehta published 150 research papers in different national and international journals, presented 60 papers in different conferences, filed two patents, authored 3 books and 3 book chapters. He has guided 12 PhD students, completed several funded research projects, organized several training programs and workshops. He visited many countries like US, Australia, Italy, Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Bangladesh, Burma, etc. for delivering lectures. He is recipient of many awards from different bodies and institutions. With these words, I request Dr. Saikat Mehta, sir, please come for the guest of honor.
Thank you. First, I'd like to express my sincerest thanks to Professor Naik for calling me time and again for attending this webinar. And I would like to bid my sincerest congratulations to Computer Society of India and IIBM for organizing this webinar. One correction may be adopted in organizing webinar in near future. The term national is not relevant for any webinar. Webinar is worldwide. It is worldwide web-based, this interaction. So it transcends the barriers of time and space. So that's why it cannot be categorized as national or international. It is worldwide discussion on web. This is basically concept of webinar. So with this, I would like to share my views in this way. You see, the fallout of this education system, what is the emergence of education systems, is a consequence of the modern education system. So I'm talking about it is the consequence of this industrial revolution, which happened in different periods of times at the different places across the globe. And it first started with this, we call it Industry 1.0, that happened in the time 1784-85 onwards, when the invention of machine in production system that happened, and mechanical production equipment that became a part of all this production system. After that, it was Industry 2.0. There, it is the basically emergence of electrical engineering and all these things, mass productions, the assembly line, all these things. Then Industry 3.0 started with the emergence of microelectronics and computer. And Industry 4.0, basically, it is relying on cloud-based technology, artificial intelligence, and robotics. These are the different phases of industrial revolution happened in the civilization of the mankind so far. And because industrial, based on the industrial requirement, our modern education system was developed. The first, the structured education this program It appeared after the World War, First World War. This is education 1.0. You see, why I'm telling this? Because it has certain significance and relevance. The education systems or modern education systems, which was developed after the First World War, that was designed by military personalities. And if we look at our classroom systems, the reflection of that military personalities, you can find always there, because the layout of this bench, these podiums, this pattern of these classrooms, the didactic system is very important, because the relationship between the commander and cadets, you are supposed to take notes and not allowed to ask questions. And that culture prevailed for a long time. And because of the British rule, our Indian system was not like that. The ancient Greece system was not like that. There were more reliance on dialogic system. Dialogic system means education evolved based on dialogues, debates. In our Indian system, Gurukul system, Chatuspathi, there were debates and debates. We had, this title like Tarka Churamani, Tarka Lankar. That means they are experts in debates. But afterwards, in the British rule, to run this administration, when the structured so-called modern education systems were imposed here, that legacy continued for a long time. And this is basically education 1.0 or didactic mode of education. Here, you see, one of the problem is this education is catered to a limited number of students, because inside the classroom we cannot accommodate infinite number one. Number two, you have to conduct this education program for a certain period of time, maybe 1 hour, 50 minutes, something like this. It is not possible within that period to check the attention level of each and every student present inside the classroom. You can say there are different categories of students. The first benchers, they may be attentive. Second benchers, they may not be, they may be a little bit less attentive. Last bencher, they may not be attentive. But within that span of time, it is difficult for the teacher to assess the level of attention of each and every student, and to encourage each and every student to ask question. Because until and unless question is not asked, this innovative and curiosity mind is not developed. The students, most of the times, they remain engaged in taking notes and dictation, in memorizing these lectures. This is by and large. There are exceptions, of course, but by and large, the system is like this, and the education is basically examination based. In the better way, you are if you reproduce whatever you are memorizing in your studies, if you reproduce on your answer scripts, you will get more marks. After that, you may forget everything. You see, this innovativeness and this inquisitiveness of mind, or understanding the thing from one's own perspective, customization of knowledge, that has never been encouraged by and large in the modern education systems in India. I am talking about this Indian system. In other parts of the world also, these systems are more or less existing, but of the late thinkers or educators, they are thinking how to change these systems. Probably you have the experience of watching the movie 3 Idiots. The definition as prescribed by the teacher, you have to narrate, you have to tell, otherwise you will not get this credit or weightage. Now, when this 90s and onwards, when internet became popular, then Microsoft, this emergence of Microsoft Windows and all these things, education 2.0 appeared. This is basically ICT based teaching and learning. ICT based teaching and learning means more or less the same thing, only PowerPoints and all these tools and techniques, emails, PowerPoints, that were used in our teaching learning systems. And that's a process and practice is still continuing. After 2010 onwards, when cloud computing technology became popular, then a shift of this education to education 3.0 started. You see, for the last, these 5, 6, 7 years, we are witnessing lots of changes in our life, in and around of us. And this embracing of technology, embracing of digital technology, that was becoming a culture of our, this community. Even before the COVID pandemic scenario, this appeared. We were not familiar even 10 years before how to book our orders at Amazon, how to book cars, how to book cabs by with mobile apps, how to go for these OTT platforms, Netflix and all these things, shopping malls, this next gens, millennium generation, smartphones, that were becoming our culture. So slowly and certainly, we are becoming more and more accustomed with digital tools, technologies, online systems. These are very much, they very much, in a formidable manner, it was penetrating our lives. Now it was being told that the requirement of the industry that was undergoing a transformation. Because of the fact the industrial scenario was more and more getting dominated by artificial intelligence, by cloud technology, by remote work process, by analytics and all these things. Accordingly, we were felt a necessity to revamp our course curriculum, our entire practices. And that's why for the last 3-4 years, what we are seeing, UGC and AICT, they became very much active in revising the curriculum, integrating this digital platform. Government of India started Digital India Mission. This is not for this government, many other countries that have started. I can cite an example of Bangladesh. Few days before this pandemic scenario started, I had the chance of interacting with Education Minister of Bangladesh. They have started computer-based, this teaching learning system from class 2 at the school level, and from class 4 onwards, they are giving tabs where all this content will be available to each and every student at the school. So the culture, that means this online culture and digital culture, slowly and slowly, that was becoming parts of our life. We have seen the emergence of Khan Academy, Baizu, and all these things that were becoming very much popular amongst our students in scoring better marks, in choosing better career. Many of these these digital avenues are coming, and here our government has invested lots of money in online education, particularly SHAM, NPTEL, and internationally also. There were this online education. Basically, it started with MIT, particularly MIT OpenCourseware, and then afterwards some parts that transferred into edX and all these things. Then Stanford started Coursera. Then Class Central, then Udemy, Singapore-based Udemy. There are many other international online education provider. They design, devise lots of contents, curriculum, engaging professors and faculties for top-rated universities. One of the advantages, you see, in our time when we were student, without visiting MIT, it was difficult to attend the lectures of an MIT professors. Without visiting Stanford, without visiting Oxford, we could not dream of that. But now with your cell phone, even with your cell phone, with your tablet, with your laptop, you can jump immediately to the classrooms of Stanford, Harvard, MIT, Oxford, and all these top, these not universities of this world to experience and witness the level of delivery, their lectures, their assignments, their course contents, everything. OpenCourseware is available. You can always take the help from OpenCourseware to design your or restructure or modifying your own content. So many opportunities are available. If we look at our this e-learning or online learning, it has 7 unique dimensions. The dimensions are, this first dimension is, it is basically, we call it ubiquitous learning. Ubiquitous learning means anytime, anywhere, anything, anytime, anywhere, anything. I can learn. If I think at this moment, I want to know about this Indus Valley civilization, no one can prevent me from that learning if I get this internet access. Anytime, at any point of time, there is no questions of meeting one experts and discuss with them. We can always have these types of knowledge from internet. Plethoras of all this information is available, and this web is getting enriched day by day by the contributions of different academicians, different researchers, different service providers regularly. Learning at your own place, learning at your own pace. We can learn many things at our sitting here at our own room, lying at our bed. Whenever we feel that I am feeling interested for learning, I can do it. When I am not interested, I can always opt out, but that part will be always written, and again I can continue. And lifelong learning. this new generation, because so the technology and all these things is getting changed so fast, not only for engineering technology, for other subjects also. The concept, the knowledges is changing so fast. We have to be lifelong learner, because whatever we have learned earlier may not be relevant today. The concept is learn, unlearn, relearn. And how this can be done? This is possible only if we take the benefit from online platform. So this is one of the greatest advantage of online education, ubiquitous learning. For science and technology and engineering, is it true? It is true for other subjects. I can cite one example. For example, like the subject history. So far, whatever the historical knowledge that has been developed, it is based on 5% or 10% of the things discovered at the surface. 90 to 95%, these remnants are still existing either beneath the ocean or under different parts lying under this, under the forest and under desert and under many places. And day by day, new and new civilization is being discovered, and our perceptions of knowledge and of this history is getting changed. Geography, getting blended with geoinformatics, mapping, signal processing. So all these things, social science. So how this migration can be studied, how this mob violence, how the human trafficking can be tracked, can be controlled. So that has becoming that. So these are becoming a part of this technological evolution. So all these subjects are getting evolved on a regular basis. So this is one thing. Second is active knowledge making. Active knowledge making, you can look at it at Wikipedia and other places. In ancient Greek system, the education was dialogic. There is a reference of Plato's Academy. At Plato's Academy, that concept, in our systems, Rabindranath Tagore tried to implement at Shantiniketan. At Plato's Academy, the concept was the persons get engaged in debate discussions, and out of this discussion, this knowledge was generated. You see, even today, social knowledge and learning based on social network. We can tweet something. Immediately, one person can retweet on that particular opinion or ideas. And again retweeting. And then it is a generation of knowledge. It happens at Facebook and all other places. You can post some things based on that. There can be discussion, further discussion, and the knowledge evolves. So this active knowledge making is possible through social media, and that is based on digital learning, network learning. And at our time, this type of knowledge was there. I can tell you at Calcutta, there is a culture of coffee house culture. I belong to the older part of this Calcutta, and there the intellectual class, they regularly, as the regular practice, they got assembled at coffee house. And that culture was there at France also. That was there at France because intellectuals, they always wanted to have, this interaction and discussion for development of their own perception, knowledge, and understanding. And that is possible now in a much bigger scale through social network. So this is active knowledge. Then multimodal. Multimodal means at classroom teaching, the limitation is either you are using blackboard chalks, your voice, your delivery style, or sometimes it is PowerPoint and all these things. But multimodal means you can have these types of, this information and knowledge from different perspectives. It can be text, it can be image, it can be audio, it can be video, it can be, these different interviews. So there can be, this integration of knowledge from different sources or different modes. So that is another big advantage. Whenever I am learning something, reading some text, there are certain hyperlinks. I can jump to some YouTube videos, some TED Talks. I can listen some lectures. So many things are there. It can give this 360-degree learning, and that can make our faculty more active. Next is recursive feedback. Recursive feedback is a part of formative assessment. How this learning process is going on. Our systems, and by and large, even few days before, it was summative. The summative means at the end only, after the process is over, then we could come to know whether the process was effective or not. But on the process, at different stages, if I can check the level of understanding, then I can either make it modified for myself, or make it more acceptable to that person who is not understanding it properly. So that is possible only at different points of our lectures if we get feedback from all the students, from all my, this audience. And that is not possible within a physical format in a narrow space and within a limited time. Therefore, this recursive, and there are different tools, techniques for getting these feedbacks by polls, by quizzes, by different, these discussion prompts. We can always check and monitor the level of understanding, and based on that, we can always, this either we can modify ourselves or modify our delivery style, our content, our all these things to make this learning more effective. Then is collaborative intelligence. Here you see, if we want to have a collaborative research sitting here with other countries like Spain, US, Italy, many countries, we can have upload the content at cloud. We can give the permission to other researcher, my collaborator, to that content, and that content can be in a combined way can be developed further. So this is possible. That is not possible in physical format. I write something and you write the next part. How is it possible until and unless you are not adopting these online techniques on cloud-based collaborative? This collaborative intelligence not only for creating some things, for doing research on something, for combining all these resources, making it formidable. So this is another dimension. Then there is differentiated learning. Differentiated learning means we can identify who is learning in a fast manner and who is learning in a slow manner. And those who are learning at a fast manner, we can give them these more advanced courses. Those who are learning at slow manner, we can give them more tutorials. So this is possible by for this online. Online is not only WhatsApp and emails and all these things. There are learning management system. There are different tools. There are different applications, mobile applications. There are different softwares. All has been developed. Only thing we need to learn at this point of time, all the applications of all the tools, techniques, and gadgets. But having said that, can you undermine the role of teachers? No. Why? Because there are two aspects of our learning. One is learning the content, learning the knowledge and skill. Another is development of emotional intelligence, development of empathy, development of the positive spirit, development of the feelings to work with the community, for the community. And that is possible when there is human touch. Role of teacher is getting transformed from being mere knowledge transmitter to a facilitator of this knowledge or mentor. There is already that adage which has been become cliche by repeated use, not sage on the stage, but guide by the side. That means the transformation of classroom is going to take place in near future in that manner. Mainly content and learning that can have from at our own place at a remote process. It can save time of journey, time of this, and it can have this more impact. And at the classroom, we can have the scope of interactions, peer-to-peer interaction, scope of interaction with our mentor, scope of getting encouraged, scope of getting inspired, scope of getting motivated, scope of having developed, scope of getting this development of this emotional intelligence or this sympathy or these feelings for the society, for doing something for the society, for showcasing our creative pursuits. So all these things that will happen at physical places like classrooms, like campus, and all these places. But knowledge, most of the part of the knowledge, that in my view, in near future, is going to take place at cloud, at remote work process, at digital learning systems. And I believe that with that, we will have more inspired, more this enthusiastic new generation will be developed who will be able to apply their creative mind, their imaginative mind, innovative mind for doing something better. And that is required. In our country, the major problem is we could not engage our young minds for developing many innovative solutions for growing this economy. And the chance has come. This one of the good sign of all these things, and that started from a few years before, reverse migration. More intelligent the people who were, who went to other countries for building up their own career, they are coming back. And they will be coming back more and more because of this pandemic scenario. Our movement is getting restricted. We have to confine at our home, at our own places. And that is giving us the opportunity to exploit the nearby resources, to exploit our knowledges, how to do these things, all these things in a better way. The situation can be similar to, can have some analogy with the situation of Japan after the World War, when the country was devastated. Then all big industries were devastated. Then knowledge-based economy, home-based industry, on electronics and all other things, that became a culture. Here, there is no denial of the fact. Till now, we do not have enough internet access and all these things to a vast section of the society. But if the demand is created, if the urgency is created, if our teaching community, we become very much, these practitioners and proficient or all these digital tools and techniques, it will create an indirect pressure on policymakers and government, and that will, already the government has started an initiative of laying this fiber optic cable to make this entire country under this digital infrastructure, like physical infrastructure, road construction and fiber optic cable construction. The laying of fiber optic cable that was happening simultaneously, it will be accelerated. So this, my view is like that. This is the time to learn all this new for all the teaching community, to learn all these new tools, techniques, gadgets, and how best this can be engaged in delivering our contents, in empowering our students. And then, without considering the fact, internet will be an issue. Internet can be an issue, but whatever is that there at your hand, you first learn it yourself, and then that issue can be taken care of by government, by policymakers in their future. That is going to happen definitely. With this, I would like to conclude. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. With this note, we are heading towards our keynote address. But before we proceed, our director, sir, wants to have a special acknowledgement. So I request Professor Dr. A.K. Naik, sir, for the special acknowledgement.
Thank you very much, Mitra sir. And indeed, it was a very great lecture that you have delivered and very beneficial to all the participants. So I had the opportunity to hear you in many of the occasions at different conferences and seminars at the West Bengal. That has tempted me really to request you to come to this webinar. And rightly you have told, in future we will be keeping your point in view, will not name as national or international webinar. Rather, it is simply webinar because it goes to the worldwide. It is not confined in any places. So thank you very much, sir. And let me tell one thing,
thank you, sir. Dr. Naik. May I be excused to leave because I have some other programs to attend. So,
sir, you can
allow me then, with all your by conveying my regards to all of you. I may be permitted to leave this webinar.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
So I must have to acknowledge that the CSI Eastern Region has conducted 16 number of webinars till today. We started first from the JIS Institute of Technology at Kolkata in the last week of March. We have never sat idle, and the Computer Society of India started it very dynamically at the Eastern India to organizing of the webinars. Yeah. And today the unique.
Okay, I have proposal for you to conduct one webinar with us. We have professional Zoom platform, so we can organize
definitely,
this
sir.
in a collaborative manner.
CSI will be having the pleasure and proud to have a webinar with you.
Thank you.
So definitely, because it is one of the largest university comprising of the all domains from the complete West Bengal. Okay, so that's very good, sir. And thank you very much. And I must have to also extend my special acknowledgement to our Ranjit Verma, sir, because a very great personality in Bihar. And so what suggestion you have given, Dr. Verma, that will be definitely, the recommendation will be forwarded to the appropriate authority. And I must require your help because this webinar is a unique webinar that out of the 16 webinars we have conducted, where the educational policy makers have been assembled, and it is comprising of the half dozen of chancellors and vice chancellors and pro chancellor and Pro Vice-Chancellor that comprising of the different states, Vice-Chancellor from from Bihar, Vice-Chancellor from Madhya Pradesh. So definitely, I will be seeking the help of Honorable Verma ji to have the completion of the recommendation, and this recommendation at least should be forwarded to the state of Bihar, Jharkhand, West Bengal, and Madhya Pradesh. And beside that, we all are associated with many professional bodies, and Dr. Verma is very pioneer in that, associated with the national treasurer of the largest scientific forum of the world, Indian Science Congress. Besides that, I had been also the ICT section chairman of the Indian Science Congress, Computer Society of India, and Indian Society for Technical Education, and Indian Society for Training and Development, in every professional society. So I've got the opportunity to work as either the national president or some authority, or at least a member of National Council. And also, Dr. Verma is associated with UGC, AICT, and many of the bodies of the country's statutory bodies. And in capacity of the president of Computer Society of India, I had the opportunity to become associated with the AICT, Bureau of Indian Standard, formerly the zonal coordinator of Ministry of IT, that is National Institute of Electronics and Information Technology, National IT E-Governance Institute, and many more, and Science and Technology. So I think I will be requesting Dr. Verma, and we can coordinate and we can prepare a recommendation, and this recommendation would go to the appropriate bodies and concerned bodies. And since it is a big forum, because the forum where the honorable vice chancellors having their views in different aspects, I do think this recommendation may have some effect. With this word, I specially once again acknowledge our gratitude and gratefulness to Dr. Indu ji, Nandkumar Yadav ji, and Dr. Ranjit Verma ji, and Dr. Saikat ji for their gracious presence and blessing this occasion, and given their valuable insights and lectures. And definitely the community as a whole will be benefited, because simultaneously it is having the live in Facebook and YouTube. And we are eagerly waiting to listen the keynote address from a very dynamic VC of a very newly high-tech established university, that is University of Applied Science at Indore. I had the opportunity to visit this university in the month of March, when I have been invited as the chief guest of the Madhya Pradesh State Student Convention. Honorable VC has made me able to visit the total campus. I have seen what a tremendous job he has done, and today we will be taking that experience as the keynote address will be delivered by him. With this, I once again extend my gratitude to all the honorable personality, including Ma'am Dali Sinha, for their gracious presence here. Thank you, sir. I'm handing over the mic to Mr. Rohit.
Thank you so much, sir. So now it's a moment for our
Gopal is
keynote
also
address.
visible. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
now it's a moment for our keynote address. To introduce our keynote address today, let me welcome Professor Gopal Krishna, the Bihar State Student Coordinator, to introduce our today's keynote speaker.
Thank you, Rohit sir. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce Dr. Sanjay Kumar, Vice-Chancellor, Symbiosis University, Indore. Welcome, sir, to this webinar.
Thank you.
I would like to introduce Dr. Sanjay Kumar. Dr. Sanjay Kumar is an engineering graduate of BITS, Ranchi University. He is MTech and PhD from both IIT Delhi. He holds MBA degree along with 2 postgraduate diploma in management. He has distinction of having done second PhD in management. Throughout his academic career, he has always been distinction holder, and in most of the service courses, he has been topper of the batch. He has published many research papers in national and international journals of high repute. He also possesses MS degree in counseling and psychotherapy. He has authored 7 books. His 2 popular books of engineering titled Concepts and Applications of Microwave Engineering and Wave Propagation and Antenna Engineering are published from a renowned publisher, Prentice Hall of India, Delhi, and prescribed in IITs and other leading colleges and universities. He is on editorial board of a famous journal, International Journal of Science and Management. He is reviewer of research papers on technical and management subjects. He is a keen sportsman and gives due importance to physical education and Vedic sciences to remain mentally agile and physically fit. Once again, welcome to this webinar, sir. I would like to invite you to address this webinar.
Thank you so much. All the eminent personalities, part of the panel, most importantly, Professor Nayak, organizers, and dear students, participants.
Thank you, sir.
Who are witnessing this program. I'm really thankful to Professor Nayak, who has been always very, very supportive and a large-hearted individual.
Thank you very much, sir.
Can accommodate many, many people from the every nook and corner of this country and organize such a wonderful seminar and webinars. And rightly, one of the speakers said that it's not only limited to the national or international, but it is, in my words, I would look at this. The earlier, we used to have one proverb, the sky is the limit. Today, the space is the limit. So we have always been moving one notch higher to this. But let me tell you this, I must congratulate the team for choosing the very, very contemporary subject. And the title of the seminar, that itself signifies a lot of importance. Emerging demand of an online education. It means what are the demands and supply today, looking at the different kind of trends, because the trend, whatever it has been, the trend has all changed. But let me, before I come to the particular subject, remind you, Robert H. Schuller, who has been a great author. You must have heard his name. He says every problem comes with a solution. When you talk about your problem, somewhere the possibility of solving the problem also comes along. This is the idea that the book, the title, Tough Times Never Last, but Tough People Do, by Robert Schuller, it revolves around. This book is a very, very motivational read, and I would like to recommend at the first time itself that all the participants and as well as the eminent personality also, if those who have already read once again, it will be good to read this book. It's a wonderful book, and the main sermon of this book is tough times never last, but tough people do. Very, very important point. All right, ladies and gentlemen, those who are attending this seminars, I would like to attract your attention towards one aspect of this, that today in this country, we have got 50 central universities and 409 state universities are deemed to be university, about 127. State private university, 349. About 16 to 20 IITs, IIMs, NITs, and triple IT. There are many of them. And that amounts to over 1,000 such kind of institutions of the repute. But now the question is very, very pertinent here, that under such kind of a pandemic situation, all these universities are the gear up to adopt the digital education, because face-to-face education and the conventional education of the classroom teaching is no more valid, and it has lost its relevance in today's scenario. As per the government data, the gross enrollment ratio has increased from 25.8 in 2017-18 to 26.3 in 2018-19. While in absolute terms, if you look at this, the enrollment ratio, as a matter of fact, the total enrollment has increased from 3.66 crore to 3.74 crore students. Now look at this such kind of a huge mass. We have got to address one more question here. How many students are having laptops and smartphones and internet connectivity? Because the entire digital education is revolving around the ability of the infra, where this infra could be an institutional infra, it could be an individual infra. And when I am looking at the students as a stand-alone individual, institution as a stand-alone individual, then the question becomes very, very pertinent. Because no education without such kind of an infra through the digital mode or online mode is going to be possible. It's an important point for all of us to make a note of this. And the government also must ensure this part, that every nook and corner, the internet connectivity, although the government is very, very proactive in providing all sorts of the broadband all over the places, but yet we are finding it that internet speed is very, very low, and many a times the connectivity goes down and the whole thing gets disrupted. Now coming to some of the very, very important issues to be highlighted at this particular forum. The COVID crisis has accelerated the growth and adoption of the digital education. There's no doubt about this. And it has risen manifold at all levels. At the onset of the pandemic, 1.4 billion students globally were locked out of the school, colleges, and institutions were faced with the challenges of finding new ways to continue educating these students. Now, when it comes to the new ways, because most of us, we are used to the conventional way of teaching. And earlier, it was in a debut going for the online education and taking some online degrees. But today, the whole thing has really turned around, and the world is looking at to have a very robust building of a cloud-based infrastructure that can be leveraged even the post-crisis. The important thing for Computer Society of India also to make a note of this while making these recommendations to build a robust cloud-based infrastructure at institutional level, and also we can't say that individually one has got to afford to have such kind of income. But I am sure today the smartphones and the laptops are much cheaper than the earlier time, and each one can afford to this. This awareness must go on to this. The pandemic came as a blessing in disguise, and it could help address the massive shortage of teachers. One of the best advantage which I found it while doing all that, wherever there is a lag in the teacher-student ratio, this can be very well addressed. Because the problem here is that connecting the online experts from the various places is much simpler than calling an individual and spending a lot of money for his straight travel, etc. So this has given us a really great opportunity, allowing more democratic access to education. So if you name it differently, it is a more democratic access to the education. It could also catalyze the growth of the gig economy. Gig economy is an economy. Basically, it means that the people, those who are having some kind of part-time jobs, part-time education, part-time mentoring, part-time giving the expertise, etc., permitting freelancers and the gig workers to impart skills remotely to a much broader student base. Because since the gig economy is going to grow in such kind of a situation, we must encourage this, because there is no need today, because each one is constant with the time, money, because the time is equally precious as the money is. So for the travel costs, the stay cost, and the time. So this has given real opportunity for all of us to utilize very, very effectively. Even for the students and the teachers, they are traveling from the city side, they're spending about 1 hour, 2 hours coming and to the colleges and coming and giving such kind of an education. However, there is no substitute to this classroom teaching. Absolutely, there's no doubt about this. Fast-tracked by the current crisis, technology has become core to the new norm, with more and more people embracing digital platforms for every day activity. The demand for cloud delivered, please mark my words, I say cloud delivered, scalable, secure, and simplified technology is going to rise. This is a kind of an emerging now demand for this, that scalable, whatever the technology you want to have it. Let's say today scalable means that from small little scale going to the bigger scale. Today, let's say some university has got 1,000 students. Tomorrow, I mean, central universities and the state university have got thousands and thousands. Even the private university like 20,000, 30,000 students. It is is a massive kind of a strength. One has got to really prepare that sort of an infrastructure. In this evolving landscape, there is a growing need to assess and then reskill, upskill and train existing workforces in emerging technology like artificial intelligence, machine learning, then robotics, data analytics, IoT, etc. There are many technology available to this. So what are expected trends today post COVID-19 also? It is during the COVID-19 and even post COVID-19 also. Adoption of blended learning at every level of education as well as skilling. Important recommendation is adoption of blended learning at every level of education as well as skilling. With video becoming a pervasive force and new age technology like AI and machine learning set to enhance online education, we can expect to see the emergence of the hybrid learning models. So hybrid learning models is also one of our recommendations that we must go for this. These models will leverage digital platforms to reach a much wider base of the students and augment the traditional classroom experiences, allowing for more personalized and adaptive learning. Secondly, the second recommendation here is the need and demand for a technology savvy digital native workforce will increase tremendously. It means that we have got to prepare a crowd that should be a digital, called as a digital native workforce. It means native means it is basically institution to institution. Every institution must have the digital workforce. It means that there should be in the university champions of the champions. We have got to create so far the digital education is concerned. To create the workforces of the future, existing training modules will have to be reassessed and updated to include skills focused on IoT, AI, ML, cyber security, data analytics, and robotics. There are the three things through which the technology can be developed for the making the ICT as the best tools, also most successful tools. Thirdly, to enable all this, infrastructure development will be critical. Institutions will turn their attention to the such technology solutions as remote collaboration, high-speed networks, and data security to ensure seamless delivery of the knowledge to dispersed and diverse students across the country. Post-COVID-19, gross enrollment ratio is expected to grow. This is one of the biggest challenges and for the government today, because the MHRD, all of them, they are looking at that how to enhance the gross enrollment ratio. Through such kind of a digital platforms, definitely it's bound to increase the gross enrollment ratio. Total enrollment as on today in higher education has been estimated to about 34.6 million, with 18.6 million boys and 16 million girls. Girls constitute about 46.2% of the total enrollment. It means the target for 2020 was achieving 30%. But with this kind of digital platforms going on, we should be targeting by 2025, our gross enrollment ratio must go to 50%. And the target set by the government was by 2020, the 30%. I do not have the survey data today because the government has not produced any kind of a data on the GER as on today, but definitely it will be growing like anything. Let me also share my few experiences. As Professor Naik was saying, that Symbiosis University was the first university probably that we could conduct all kind of online examinations, etc., plus online teaching. Let me outline few important areas. What we did. 22nd March was the day. It was probably the historic day when the lockdown was announced and the universities were told to close down. So put their shutters down. Let's say if your shutters are down, for the moment you don't know what to do and how to go about all those things. But let me tell you, friends, quickly, I, along with my all expert members, we had a meeting, and with that in that meeting, we decided that okay, no matter what is the status of the education today or the syllabus, and on 22nd March, let me share my experience. About 33% syllabus we are able to cover this semester, and midterm 1. As a matter of fact, in one semester we conduct 3 midterms. So one midterm one was already conducted face to face in the classroom, conventional classroom. However, midterm 2, 3 and the end semester exam was to be conducted. It was the biggest challenge how to go about, because we vacated the students, we vacated the university, each one they left the university, and then all of us we have been operating from at home, from home. So it means that the online part has got to go through this. So in the meeting, what we decided that let's carry out in a survey, and we created in a Google Form survey that who all are having the ICT infra at home. Somebody is saying that I do not have the internet connectivity, and similarly we flash these messages as well as the Google Forms to all the students. To our surprise, we found it that about 75% people are having good internet connectivity, and also they are equipped with the laptops and smartphones. So that gave a big solace to me and my team. And we thought that, all right, that's fantastic. So within a day, we started again getting onto the platforms of the online teaching. At the same time, we started engaging the students, the remaining students, and their parents, requesting them that kindly arrange some kind of laptops, maybe from your neighbor, maybe from your brother, sister, or smartphones, or some relatives, and let the students to get fully equipped for the online classes. And it so happened that all the parents were, as a matter of fact, I had the chai par charcha with the parents, and basically to highlight this, that today is the day, and today is the scenario where one has got to go for the digital education. And for digital education, the only way out is that we must have such kind of an infra at home, similar like tabs in your smartphones, laptops, etc. So we did this. After Google survey, we became very, very confident, and we kept on moving on to from 9:30 to 4:30. We continued our curriculum as it was in the conventional teaching. And let me tell you this, the best part what we learned from this is that attendance for which we have been really changing the students, and we could get 75-80%. When we started conducting these classes, there's a tremendous improvement in the attendance. People were all very much gauging their eyes to the teachers and looking at this, that how the things are going on to this. So our attendance response suddenly shoot up to the 85%, 90%, and some of the cases we found 95, 98, 99%. So this was a kind of a learning we had with this. Earlier in the classroom, even today also, if you look at this, in most of the university, they suffer the attendance deficit. But through the online teaching, the attendance deficit, because each one is at home. ICT training to the students. Another important thing that many of students, they are not aware. As a matter of fact, all of us, we are caught unaware in using the ICTs. Whichever the university, they have not been using these tools. Definitely they were caught absolutely unaware. And that is how, let me tell you this, that is how this 3 months, 4 months extension was given by the government, that okay, 1st October, say you can start your session, 1st September, etc., and things like that. Because we are not fully geared up for this. State university, they had a real tough time to see to this, that how this online education can go on. It is not because of the university only lack of the infra, but also the lack of the infra at remote places by students coming from the poor backgrounds. That was a major hiccup. End term examination we conducted thereafter, midterm 2 and midterm 3, all through the online model, as well as we have got a very specialized software, the SCDL engine, that is Symbiosis Exam Engine, with multiple choice questions as well as some of the subjective questions, assessment through the quizzes, assignments, etc., everything online. And finally, we found it that after 15 or 20 days, we created so much of the awareness and so much of the interest among the students as well as the parents, because the chai par charcha was continuing throughout, so that students, they remain motivated, and that is how we could achieve about 98% attendance as an average. The challenge is what we faced is to arrest the attention deficit while teaching. Let's say I'm talking, but I am not aware that who all are the audiences. We have been talking about the soft skills, that body language, eye contacts, etc. In such kind of circumstances, these are the couple of limitations where we cannot have that kind of an eye contacts with everyone. Establish emotional connect. Most important thing, emotional connect. Boredom setting in this needs to be avoided. So in between what we did it, one theoretical class, one practical, one skill classes, engaging them in such a fashion, giving some kind of a little quizzes, giving some kind of a material, something like an entertaining material, some kind of little fun game through this thing. So these were all tactics were applied in this thing. The most challenging part was the exam sanctity. Exam sanctity to be maintained, your software has got to be really tailored with all kind of security features. And let me give you a couple of things which is very, very important. You have got to be careful about the time bound, because the moment the person logs in, the clock should be running. Okay, and if it is a 2 hours, 3 hours examination, the moment the 3 hours is over, it should be out and it should not allow. Similarly, the next part is the password protected, their login, because what we used to do with 15 minutes before the examination, we used to issue the password to through their mail as well as the WhatsApp together, and we constituted one committee, and that committee became a monitoring committee. It means that one was the remotely monitoring committee, and we had the query booth. In case somebody is finding a problem in the login, we kept on assisting them individually. So I had about 10 members who have been assisting throughout the examination, so that no student gets any kind of a difficulty. And what I said, that prior to the examination, we conducted the IC2 tools training, how to use it. Particularly, let's say we created a symbiosis exam engine, call it SCDL engine. About that SCDL engine, A to Z dictation was given to them. Another challenge what we faced it is basically the practical and skills training. Yes, it is a big problem. So we also learned quite a lot of lessons through this. We started working on to the simulation. All practicals, we have started creating the simulation model. It means, let me give you my experience while remaining in the Indian Air Force. We used to fly the aircraft after doing a rigorous training on the simulator. And simulator is one of the biggest tool. Here also, for all kind of an engineering programs or any kind of programs, definitely it may not give the same kind of a feel as you are doing it this thing, but definitely digitally you will be fully equipped to understand the skill, how to do the practicals and skills training. So for that, we also use the virtual labs, where we have got about 600 practicals uploaded to the virtuals, and the government machinery, that e-yantra. Another challenge is avoiding question paper leakage. Today in this world, let me tell you this, Intel iPad requires students to go through a biometric authorization via fingerprint, and students can attempt the exam only if the fingerprint matches. Because earlier, somebody else can also give an examination through the online mode. How do you recognize this? So these are the things which are there. Another important thing, what we did it in our software is it's a proctored software. Proctored means the one somebody is watching you, and then proctored was done through the webcam. And we set up in a control room through which the webcam has been monitoring and giving all those kind of things. It is the same face who has been appearing in the examinations. And of course, the time bound thing, your clock starts now, it means now. And thereafter, after 2 hours, 3 hours, or 1 hour, whatever the pattern we are following it, that we did it. Secured execution of the exams through the geo-fencing is one of the area where one should look at this. Digital evaluation for transparency. In a bid to promote transparency, eliminate evaluation errors, and shorten the entire evaluation cycle. I'll recommend that today when we are going the digital online education, we must be able to create the digital evaluation. In Symbiosis SCDL exam engine, the whole marks come automatically. It means that all kind of tabulation and evaluation is done. Because we create a question bank, and through the question banks also, it is not the same question will appear for everybody, because we put through the question banks, and let's say one question is there for 15 questions are supposed to be given in a question paper. We create 4 times more. It's about 60 questions. So through the 60 questions, keep swapping to the, it means the different questions, so that nobody can have the some kind of a telephonic call and take the some kind of a clue to appear in the examination, or to get some kind of a prompt, etc. Making certificates tamper-proof, very important part. We have to develop a solution which can emerge to prevent counterfeiting of mark sheets and certificates. Of course, we face the problem of the payment of the fees, etc. We have been changing this, and we could arrest it. Most important for all the younger lots today, even for the professors also, our mental makeup. Very important thing, our mental, because it's sometimes you get into the depression, boredom, because you have got to sit at one place, listen to all kind of monotonous things, etc. So one has got to be mentally prepared. So time to time we did a lot of counseling. The quality of the teaching was very well evaluated, because many times I used to log in as a student and monitor the online teaching. Digital initiatives which have been taken by MHRD Ministry is commendable. There is no doubt about this. Only thing we are looking at, like let's say SWAYAM and MOOC platform, 140 universities they have enrolled. About 26 lakh students have been enrolled in January, and today students 1.57 crores they are enrolled into all kind of courses, and 1900 courses it is being run. E-tutorial, e-content, discussion forums, assessments, etc. Every little initiative has been taken by the government. There's another thing. Somebody can say that, okay, I do not have the internet connectivity at my place. How I can carry out my studies? For such kind of problems, I will suggest you the government has got a very good portal that is called Swayam Prabha. It is basically 24/7/32 DTA channel. 56,000 videos have been uploaded by the various expert professors from IITs, IIMs, and all sorts of the reputed institutions. NDL, National Digital Library, primary to the PG e-content, 55 lakhs users they are using, and using all sorts of the audio and video lectures. So e-Gyan course is another platform. Diksha, that is another platform. Also, let me tell you, those who do not have that kind of a connectivity, they can go through the Gyan Darshan, that is a TV channel, a web-based TV channel. Gyan Vani, that is 105.6 FM radio, and Gyan Dhara, web radio. So 3-4 platforms you have got. If you do not have the connectivity, still you can carry on with this thing. Gyan Darshan, Gyan Vani, Gyan Dhara, and Swayam Prabha, that is 24/7/32 DTH channel available. Another thing is that e-Pathsala, that is for basically school students 1 to 12, and e-PG Pathsala. Another important initiative was taken by the government, was very helpful. Sodh Ganga. Sodh Ganga is basically a repository of all sorts of the thesis, dissertation, etc. Sodh Sindhu, where we have got more than 10,000 online journals, 31.35 e-books, in the thousands and lakhs. Such kind of books are available. Sodh Shuddhi, as you are aware about the plagiarism, etc. Sodh Shuddhi is also available. One can go. Another very important thing, one portal has been created, Vidwan. It means that Vidwan consists of all big names, where the experts, let's say in the social sciences, in a general kind of science, engineering, medical, healthcare, etc., whatever you call it. And then another thing is the Sakshat, through which you can go through all kind of press releases, news, achievements, etc., webinars, seminars, etc. 4 negative impacts of the COVID-19, what I could look at this. First of all, the sluggish cross-border movement of the students. Definitely, if the Indians are going to USA or Spain or Italy, definitely the parents will be very reluctant to send them. Even the students also very reluctant. Cities in many countries such as Australia, UK, New Zealand, and Canada, USA are highly dependent on the movement of these students from China and India. So now, if the migration is not going to be there, this is going to be a big issue for them also. It means that education economy is bound to face some kind of problems like this. Sluggish cross-border movement of the students. Passive learning by the students. What I made a mention is basically is the monotonous, the boredom. So these are all inherent problems we have got to take care on. Unprepared teachers for online education, they were caught, but however, they managed the whole show very well, because one has got to get in line with the digital world today. Changing format of the student recruitment. As I said, that the student recruitment could be online. Earlier used to call the students, fill up the form, submit to things like this. So each activity of the university has got to go through the ICT tools only. Practical and skill teaching has been always a constant, which I said that we started creating the simulation for each experiment, also taking help of the virtual labs. And in university, we have started creating the all kind of virtual labs now. Internships and placements, for this we went through the all virtual internships. As we have got the skill university, we created in a pool of the industrial experts. We took their advices and we requested them to come online. So we have been doing this all kind of virtual internship, the projects, etc. Opportunities, what it is there, I said the rise in a blended learning. That is another thing. Learning management system to be the new norm today. Improvement in the learning material, we have got to do quite a lot of this thing. Rise in collaborative work. Today, without collaborative work, university cannot function. The most important part, which all of us educators, academicians, we should be knowing this. NIRF ranking. Today, the NIRF ranking was not giving that much kind of a weightage to the digital platform. But tomorrow is NIRF is bound to give a substantial weightage to the digital platform. It means that how much university is equipped so far the IC tools utilization and effective and optimum utilization is concerned. Very important point. As I have mentioned earlier also, just to consolidate that, what are the teaching modes going to be? Computer managed learning, computer assisted instruction, synchronous online learning, asynchronous online learning, fixed e-learning, adaptive e-learning, linear e-learning, interactive online, individual online learning is also very, very important part, and collaborative online learning. So these are the things which are, I am finding it that very, very, it will be helpful. Now coming to a conclusion sort of things, in military there is a saying, the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in the war. This we have seen. And this was basically, it is applicable to me and my university also. That definitely during the peace time, peace means basically when the COVID-19 was not there, nobody was predicting what kind of things were there. We are very much aware about this, how to effectively utilize the ICT tools. During even general kind of a classroom teachings, we used to apply our minds through the ICT tools only. So we did not find much of problem. So that is how it goes. The more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. So during the war situation, that is a COVID-19 breakout situation, definitely we are much ahead, and all results have been tabulated, evaluated, and on 16th, this will be declared. Earlier it was basically 10th, but we could delay because we created another format for the undertaking, that all kind of students will be giving an undertaking that they have appeared through the all examination norms, they have gone through the all sanctity norms, etc., etc. And after taking that kind of an undertaking, then only we'll be declaring our results. So otherwise the results are all there, so we don't have to wait for the next month. So our session is also on time so far, but anyway, we are supposed to be following the government regulation, and will definitely follow the government regulations. To wind up today's session, and before I say thank you very much, I'll only say that मुश्किलों से भाग जाना आसान होता है, हर पहलू जिंदगी का इम्तिहान होता है. मुश्किलों से भाग जाना आसान होता है, हर पहलू जिंदगी का इम्तिहान होता है. डरने वालों को मिलता नहीं कुछ जिंदगी में, लड़ने वालों के कदमों में जहान होता है, जहान होता है. विद दीज वर्ड्स मैं अपने वक्तव्य पर विराम देता हूं, और मुझे यकीन है कि हमारी बातों से आप कुछ न कुछ बातें अपने तक रखेंगे, और मेरे अनुभव से कुछ आप लाभ उठा सकेंगे. थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर योर पेशेंट हियरिंग, and once again congratulations to Professor Nayak and his brilliant team for organizing such kind of a wonderful webinar. I am sure that recommendations given by all the speakers will go a long way in improving our digital web-based education. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
We are headed towards our next session, that is address our distinguished guest. And for that, I request Gopal sir to please introduce our today's distinguished guest.
Before that, I would like to thank Dr. Sanjay sir.
Thank you.
कि लड़ने वालों के कदमों में जहान होता है, और बहुत ही विस्तृत तरीके से बहुत ही डिटेल में जो आपने डिजिटल टीचिंग एंड लर्निंग की बात कही, और मुझे लगता है कि जितने भी प्रतिभागी पार्टिसिपेंट्स इस वेबिनार को अटेंड कर रहे हैं जरूर ही लाभान्वित हुए होंगे। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद सर, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Thank you very much.
Thank you sir.
Thank you, Professor Naik. Thank you very much.
Thank you sir. Now proceeding towards the next segment of our webinar, I'd like to request Dr. Dolly Sinha ma'am for presenting his view. But before that, I would like to introduce her, that Dr. Dolly Sinha is presently the Pro Vice-Chancellor of Patna University and eminent teaching personality of not only Patna but overall Bihar. We are very proud. I am especially feeling very proud that I am introducing her. That prior to the present assignment, she headed the Department of Physics, served as the Dean Student Welfare, Patna University, and Principal of Magad Mahila College. She is an enthusiastic, result-oriented teacher, a committed researcher, and a good administrator. She has been involved in education service with experience of more than 39 years. A PhD in physics from IIT Delhi, India, she has published a number of papers in Scholarly Journal of Physics and Material Science, including Journal of Applied Physics, USA. Her present area of research is nanocrystalline ferrite and ferroelectric. She has been awarded many scholarships and fellowships, including the prestigious Teacher Fellow of Indian Academy of Sciences, Bangalore, India, and a UGC Visiting Fellow at IIT Delhi. She has presented a number of research papers, chaired a number of sessions, and delivered invited talks and keynote addresses at various conferences, symposiums, and seminars, including 100th Indian Science Congress, and also included a large number of national level conferences in basic sciences, computer and ICT, and performing arts. So once again, I would like to welcome Dr. Dolly Sinha ma'am to this prestigious webinar organized by CSI Patna chapter and Indian Institute of Business and Management. Please ma'am, we would like to hear you.
Namaskar, all the distinguished participants. Am I audible?
Yes ma'am.
Okay. I take this opportunity to thank Professor A.K. Nayak sir and Professor U.K. Singh sir for organizing this wonderful webinar. And I have been listening to many distinguished personalities and I enriched myself so far. Now, whether COVID or not, we must accept that the online teaching learning is the demand of the hour, demand of the time. We have to make it mandatory for all the educational institutions. I'm not saying that 100%, but at least 30% of this. And I think UGC has already done that. NAC also expects that 30% of the transaction of teaching learning should be through online mode. So it is a practicality. We have to accept that. And so far, we have listened many distinguished personalities. The keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Sanjay Kumar, Vice-Chancellor, Symbiosis University, Indu. He spoke at length. Then Dr. Professor Shekat Mitra, Vice-Chancellor, Professor N.K. Yadav, Vice-Chancellor, Professor Ranjit Kumar, Verma, Vice-Chancellor. I have listened all of them and they all emphasized various aspects of online learning. Now, my viewpoint, I would like to emphasize on two aspects. The first one is, of course, digital divide. Because I am working in a state university and I know the ability of my students and the teachers very well. So digital, when I speak of digital divides, I speak in the context of both individual level and as well as institutional level. Now, when I talk of individual level, then I consider my students whether they can afford to have a digital device for learning. And when I talk of our institutions, then how much ICT infrastructure is available in our universities is important. So I must accept, I feel sad, but it is a reality that our state universities do not have the infrastructure we should have for providing good quality online education. In this COVID scenario, many university and college faculty members are preparing e-contents, and they are in various formats. They are in PPT, PDF, audio, video, and they are uploading it also. But if we talk of their quality, what is the quality? Of course, some of the lectures are international level and very good, very entertaining, and very students find them very good. But most of the lectures, what I checked, I found they lack animation. And when we talk of such a seminar, it's a wonderful initiative, I must say. We can consider a series of such lectures, because when we talk of online learning, the level will be different at primary level, middle school level, then high school level, and then higher education or university level. It is all, their demands are different, their challenges are different. So I would request that such seminars can be organized for a particular level. Here, of course, I'm considering that when I'm talking about the e-learning facility available at the university level, that level. So if we consider that, we don't have much software tools or ICT infrastructure to prepare good quality lectures for science, engineering, medical science, and other subjects. And for our students also, they cannot learn physics or mathematics or any other engineering subjects or medical science subjects, which involves lots of equations and mathematical equations from their mobile phones. So they need at least a laptop for their use. So how many of our state university students have a laptop of their own? That is also very important idea. The other aspect I would like to emphasize is the language aspect. The India is a land of multiple languages. We have diversity in our language, and unfortunately, the computer scenario is still very much tilted in favor of English language. So developing information processing tools and techniques to facilitate human-machine interaction without language barrier, creating and accessing multilingual knowledge resources and integrating them to develop innovative user products, services is very important, which I feel. The role of technical institutions like IITs, NITs, and IISRs in this context is very important, and I will expect that this COVID period will motivate them to do something innovative in Indian context. The other is also very important is the capacity building of our faculty members as well as staff members. Many of our faculty members, though they are preparing in this, there is no other way out, they are preparing e-contents, but they need to be trained properly in preparing e-contents, which keeps the students absorbed. Because sometimes I find these e-contents are rather monotonous. And other important aspects which I would like to point out is the budget creation. Many of the state universities, particularly in this area, still do not have university management information system. So our system must allocate a fund or budget to create proper infrastructure without which we cannot deliver or transact proper teaching learning in this mode. Now, when I talk of science and technical subjects and many performing arts also, the lab sessions are very, very important. And there, the virtual laboratories, the requirement of virtual laboratories is also very important. And UGC has also recommended for that in this COVID period, students cannot perform experiments. Therefore, we have to provide them video recording of all experiments. So where is the infrastructure? We have to think of that. So there are many challenges, and such seminars and webinars will provide us the opportunity to think how to overcome these challenges. To me, it appears that in this scenario, because we are running short of time, the only thing is to collaborate, cooperate, and share. Whatever we have various private colleges, autonomous colleges, and some universities, they have very good infrastructure, they have very good resources. So it is my appeal to all that in this scenario, we should collaborate, cooperate, and share. Those who have and those who do not have, there is a divide. The digital divide can be, for the time being, can be bridged by sharing our resources. And I also appeal that in India, people do contribute for constructing places of worship. Now it is time that we contribute for setting up community computer labs for our poor students. There must be a community computer lab in every mohalla so that the little ones can go there and use the resources free of cost. So we must accept there is no other way out, but we have to find out ways, and we must think of that. Because the time is short, I am concluding here, and I congratulate the Vice-Chancellor of Symbiosis University for conducting all examinations online. I wish all other universities should also have this infrastructure and zeal to overcome the constraints provided by COVID, or we can say that the opportunities, actually, whether we look at it, we can look at it as a constraint in teaching learning, we can look at it as an opportunity which we have to utilize. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So now we are head towards our next section, that is our presidential address. And for that, I request Professor Dr. Uttam Singh sir. Before we proceed, let me introduce Mr. Uttam Singh sir. Professor Uttam Kumar Singh is the founder and Director General of Indian Institute of Business Management and Zakir Hussain Group of Institutions. Dr. Singh is recognized as a father of vocational education in the undivided Bihar for the pioneer contribution in initiating the IT and management education. Computer Society of India felicitated him with the Fellowship and Lifetime Achievement Award. A great visionary with the experience of IT and management education in particular and vocational education. In general, Professor Singh at present is the Chancellor of Global Open University, Nagaland. So with these words, I request Professor UP Singh sir for the presidential remarks.
Thank you, Professor Rohit. And I take this opportunity to propose my hearty gratefulness to all the learned professors, vice chancellors, and teachers, those who have spoken a lot about the online education. The various aspects that they have dealt in is really full of knowledge and wisdom. To start my presidential remarks, I will let you tell just that technology will never replace great teachers, but technology in the hands of great teachers can lead to complete transformation of the educational system. Of course, to teach online is to touch many lives forever, but the various pros and cons that we have just heard from the mouths of the great teachers of our this universities, I have sincerely heard many of the remarks, many of the ideas put forward by several teachers. But I appreciated the reality that Dr. Verma has spoken, that the insincerity of the students towards the online education. Since they are not accustomed to such type of education, so it will take certainly some time to adapt to this virtual educational system. Secondly, I have just heard Dr. Dolly Sinha talking about the virtual lab. The condition of the labs, I don't know about other universities, but in our Bihar universities, we find it is deplorable. So if virtual lab is included in this online educational system, this will certainly help much our students to learn the new procedures, new practices being adopted in most developed universities on global basis. So in my opinion, there is one more aspect which I would like to just pronounce. In face-to-face education, we have certain merits, we have certain properties that we have felt long ago and continuously, that is the human touch. We meet with the students face to face interact with us. So this human touch with the students is supreme importance. But in case of online education, we lack this. We cannot talk to students on large basis. At least eye-to-eye contact is essential. We can find their faces, but a lot of 100 students and more, it is very difficult to interact with each and everyone and face eye-to-eye to all our students. This has very psychological impression upon the students. In a classroom, the pin drop silence is always maintained since they feel that someone is looking towards them. They are paying attention to their even the body language and all that. So that we lack in case of the online education. Moreover, today only, and everyone knows, there is a scarcity of the electronic gadgets like the mobiles. Smartphones are not available with all the students of various status that we face. Like today's newspaper has widely covered that 68% students do not have smartphones. And what to say about the online or internet access? Although the percentage we find in newspapers and the data we have before us says that more than 90% persons have internet access in India also. In rural areas also internet access is proliferating like anything. But in reality, the students for whom we are making all our efforts, they may not have smartphones, they may not have continuity, in continuity, they access to the internet and other electronic gadgets also. Secondly, our learned professors have just deciphered the actually adapted outlook of our concerned faculty members too, that they are not adapted to the online educational system. So they have to be also trained accordingly. Like Dr. Dolly Sinha has just told, that capacity building of the faculty member is a must. She has been looking after since last 3 years, the capacity building, the faculty development programs and knowledge enhancement programs at Patna University. So she has spoken the truth. And lastly, in my remarks, I would like to emphasize upon the mentality of our students for whom we are making all our efforts. The students are also not keen to like this online educational system. it will certainly take some time. When, as we know, the necessity is the need of the mother of the invention. If they are actually pressurized to adopt this educational system, they have idea. I have talked to so many students. They feel this will go on for few months, or then we will meet with each other and discuss and deliberate upon the important topics which have been has to be covered in our course curriculum. But this is not. This may not be true. Nobody can predict that up to how months long this situation will prevail upon. So students have to be mentally prepared also. Then only the authenticity and the fruitfulness of this educational system will be very effective. तो मैं समझता हूँ कि इस अवसर पर इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट और कंप्यूटर सोसाइटी ऑफ इंडिया की तरफ से मैं साधुवाद देना चाहूंगा। मैं बहुत ही कृतज्ञता ज्ञापन करना चाहूंगा हमारे जितने भी लर्नेड प्रोफेसर, वाइस चांसलर मौलाना आजाद यूनिवर्सिटी वेस्ट बंगाल शैकत मित्रा साहब को, प्रोफेसर संजय कुमार जी को सिम्बियोसिस यूनिवर्सिटी के वाइस चांसलर, मित्र हमारे डॉक्टर रंजीत वर्मा जी मुंगेर यूनिवर्सिटी, जो एक मुंगेर जैसे जिले में नव स्थापित विश्वविद्यालय को इन्होंने राष्ट्रव्यापी ख्याति दिलवाई है अपने ज्ञान, कौशल और परिश्रम के बल पर। उनका मैं साधुवाद करना चाहूंगा। और हमारे बीच में नंद किशोर यादव जी, जब से ये वाइस चांसलर सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ झारखंड गए हैं, एक नए विश्वविद्यालयों की इन्होंने तस्वीर बदल दी है। इसको राष्ट्रीय क्षितिज पर एक महत्वपूर्ण स्थान दिलाने में सफलता पाया है। मैं अन्य सभी जितने भी वक्ता यहाँ पर आए हैं, खास करके हमारे जो रीजनल वाइस प्रेसिडेंट कंप्यूटर सोसाइटी ऑफ इंडिया प्रोफेसर शम्स रजा साहब हैं, उनके ही प्रयास से ये आयोजन किया जा रहा है। यहाँ पर प्रोफेसर नायक तो हमारे कोऑर्डिनेटर ही हैं, लीडर ही हैं। और आपको जानकर आश्चर्य होगा कि अब तक पिछले 2-3 महीनों के अंदर में 30 से ज़्यादा वेबिनार और भी डिफरेंट तरह के एक्टिविटीज इन्होंने ऑर्गेनाइज कराए हैं, जिसको राष्ट्रीय ख्याति प्राप्त विद्वानों ने संबोधित किया है। और प्रोफेसर गणेश पांडे जी, डिप्टी डायरेक्टर इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ बिजनेस मैनेजमेंट, कृष्णा जी, और हमारे जो CSI बिहार स्टेट के कोऑर्डिनेटर हैं स्टूडेंट विंग के, इन लोगों का प्रयास प्रशंसनीय है। मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि आगे भी आप सभी विद्वानों का सहयोग और समर्थन हमें प्राप्त होगा। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, sir. So now we are headed towards the end of our today's session, but we have one more session, that is our vote of thanks. And for that, I request Professor Sam Sajja, sir, Regional Vice President, Computer Society of India, Region 2, to please come for the vote of thanks.
Thank you. Good afternoon to all. First of all, I must express my thanks and gratitude to all the Vice Chancellors, Pro-Vice Chancellor, who have spared their valuable time and given such a nice and exhaustive delivery on the topic. I would like to express my thanks to Professor N.K. Yadav, Vice Chancellor, Central University, Jharkhand, Professor Ranjit Kumar Verma Sahab, Professor Sanjay Kumar ji, Dr. Sanjay Kumar from Symbiosis, Indore, Professor Saiket Mitra ji from West Bengal Technical University, and Professor Dolly Sinha from Patna University, Pro-Vice Chancellor. And I hope that all the participants must have enjoyed these sessions and they must gain it. At the same time, the faculties may also get benefited for thinking online delivery of the system. As Dr. Sanjay Kumar has referred, our university's multimedia delivery channels like Gyan Darshan and Gyanvani from Indira Gandhi National Open University. And we have also in 2001 virtual campus initiative. We in IGNU, we are already experimenting for this online education system. So with all these words, I express my thanks to whole team of IIBM and CSI Patna chapter and Bihar and region 2. Thank you.
Thank you so much, all of you. So now it's the end of our today's webinar. I hope for a grand success of this webinar, and I also thank all our respected guests and dignitaries and all the participants who have joined in this webinar. So that's the end of our today's session. Thank you for being with us. Thanks a lot.